I'm Miss Jill and I'm here for virtual story time and to share with you an amazing story. And it is called One More Acorn by Don Freeman and Roy Freeman. Early one morning in the city of Washington, D.C., a lively gray squirrel named Earl looked out of his tree house door and blinked his eyes. Winter would soon be here, and Earl knew it was time to go and find the acorns he had stored away last summer. Earl scampered out of his tree house. The grass in Lafayette Square was nearly covered with a light layer of leaves. By now the sun had risen, and all the other squirrels were scurrying around to find their own hidden acorns. Earl sniffed and scratched and dug until suddenly his tail began to twitch and twirl. He had found his first acorn of the day. He turned the acorn around and around, then he packed it into his cheek. Soon he was ready to search for more tasty treasures. Within a short while, he had found 3 more acorns. Earl's cheeks were full. It was time to bring his acorns home. Away he raced to his treehouse. Now you see why Earl needed to hurry. He had a hungry, furry family to feed. "Thank you, Papa," said his older son, Hickory. "Thank you, Papa," said his younger son, Filbert. "Ch-ch-ch-ch-ch," says his baby daughter, Hazel, who was too little to talk. "Well done, my dear," said their mother. Down the tree, Earl climbed again to search for more acorns. Then, all at once, he sat up on his haunches and looked around. He thought to himself, I wonder now, where did I hide that great big acorn last summer?" Earl ran over to the edge of the sidewalk. This was the right direction, wasn't it? Then he remembered. He had hidden the big acorn on the other side of the wide avenue. Today, the street was filled with cars and trucks and people riding bicycles. Could Earl make it across safely? Oh no. He looked left, he looked right, then he looked left again. His tail twitched and twirled. Across the avenue he dashed like a fury flash. Once on the other side, Earl hesitated. People were unfurling colorful flags and tying them to the lampposts. Even a squirrel could tell that a very special celebration was happening that day. But Earl had important things to do. He had a hungry, furry family to feed, and without waiting, he ran through an open gate, which is something not every visitor can do, you may be certain. Earl bounded straight toward the Washington Monument. The area around the monument was very crowded. What are all of these people doing? Earl wondered. Are they looking for acorns too? Earl searched and searched, dodging men in big work boots and women in shiny, sharp shoes, but nowhere in all this space could he find a trace of his old tracks or the scent of an acorn. While he was busily sniffing, he heard the gleeful voices of boys and girls. Wherever they were children, Earl knew something good was bound to happen. "Come along now, boys and girls, finish up. It's time to get ready," their teacher called. The children were all bent over, digging in the ground. Maybe they are looking for acorns too, thought Earl. Then one of the children did find an acorn. Earl's acorn. It was just the one he'd been searching for. Before the boy could pick it up, Earl raced over. His tail twitched and twirled. "Do you want this acorn?" asked the boy. "That's okay. You can have it." "Well, I'm glad to hear it," thought Earl, since it was my acorn to begin with. Just then, Earl heard a shrill voice. When teachers really mean it, they can get loud. "Hurry along. We are leaving right now." "Good luck," the boy said to Earl. "I have to go. Maybe we will see each other again one day." Then off he ran to join the rest of his class. Earl bounded out through the gate and ran until he came to the big street. But look, the avenue was full of people and floats. It was a parade. "I will never get across now," he thought. Earl climbed a tree to see how long the parade was, and then he scampered along a branch overlooking the street. "Oh no, it goes on forever," Earl thought. But just then he saw someone who looked familiar. Now, Earl knew just what to do. And he boings all around to the other side. After a short rest to catch his breath, Earl bounded home to his family. He took the big acorn out of his mouth and said, "Look what I brought back for you." "Thank you, Papa," said his older son, Hickory. "Thank you, Papa," said his younger son, Filbert. "Ch-ch-ch-ch," said his baby daughter, Hazel, who was too little to talk. "Well done, my dear," said their mother. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story, One More Acorn, and tune in for next week. Take care.